Hello and welcome to Red Gaming Tech for yet more of your daily gaming news with myself, Amata. Today is of course the 28th of September, and this time I'm bringing you some news from Mozilla Firefox, as Mozilla has officially announced that they will be phasing out old plugin technology. Now Mozilla has updated its own blog reporting this, that Firefox will no longer activate most plugins by default, which will be starting with the latest Aurora release. Now on Tuesday, Mozilla's Benjamin Smedberg said that whenever a website tries to use a plugin, you can of course choose whether to enable it or to keep it blocked. Ultimately, this should provide a better Firefox experience on a performance level, as you probably know if you are a Firefox user, plugins are known to be a source of hangs, crashes and security incidents, and yes, that is definitely true. There has been many an occasion of a plugin causing a website to either close down or the whole browser to crash or what have you. And they're saying that putting control back in the hands of the Firefox users should help keep them more secure and the browser running more smoothly. Now, as you might expect, the one plugin that won't be blocked by default is Adobe Flash, because it's used pretty much by every website ever. Now, he did say, quote, "Many websites use hidden Flash instances that the user does not see and cannot click on, making Flash click to play will be confusing for most users. Users with older versions of Flash that are known to be insecure will see the click to activate UI and will be prompted to upgrade to the latest version. Our security and plugin teams work closely with Adobe to make sure that Firefox users are protected from instability or security issues with the Flash plugin." Now, what's rather interesting is that back in March, Mozilla actually conducted a user research survey on the prototype implementation of click-to-play plugins, and they actually discovered that many Firefox users actually had no idea what a plugin even was. And as Smedberg did point out in that quote, many people just don't notice several plugins. There's probably a plugin running on some of the web pages you've got running right now that you don't even realize. So when people suddenly had to enable these plugins on the same site repeatedly, they either grew highly annoyed or confused. And Smedberg said again, quote, "We redesigned the click-to-play feature to focus on enabling plugins per site rather than enabling plugin instances on the page. Advanced users who want to activate individual instances may still do so by installing a Firefox extension. We encourage people who want to try the new plugin experience to use the Mozilla Nightly or Aurora preview releases." Now, of course, plugins are pretty old technology now. At one time, they were ideal for prototyping and implementing new features, but now that browsers have evolved and grown, these features can be tested with browser environments like WebGL and so forth. So basically, plugins are no longer really as necessary, and they've been consistently a growing security threat and are not even used on most mobile devices. So, of course, this is an interesting but expected move, as, of course, Google did report that they will be blocking most plugins within Chrome starting in January 2014. So, of course, Firefox pretty much had to follow up if they wanted to stay competitive, but it's still nice that they've done this, and enabling plugins on a site basis rather than a plugin by plugin basis definitely sounds like a simpler way of doing things, especially if a website uses many different plugins and so forth. Now, what this does mean is that, well, if, for example, before a web page had like a video player in the corner, just for example, and it was trying to play an ad or whatever, and it couldn't because you disabled the plugin for it. Now, of course, what that means, unless you get an extension, if you allow plugins overall for that site, that video will play. Obviously, you can pause it, but I'm just saying that there is that to consider. So those of you who like to tweak your experience a little bit may want to consider getting this Firefox extension if you decide to stick with Firefox after this is coming to fruition. Still, definitely a positive step forward for both Firefox and Chrome. I'm actually a user of both, or Iron, which is a slightly different version of Chrome, but it's pretty much the same. So, definitely pleased to hear this, as I said previously, plugins have the cause of many different problems and are not really that useful anymore. Anyway, that is me done for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.